It is round 2 out of 4 at the Dynamic Disc Open. This is the 5th Disc Golf Pro Tour event of the year. It is windy. My name is Madison Walker.
And I'm Erika Stinchcomb, and we're the two hot geese fighting the wind with all of you. Honk.
Honk. It was only slightly windier than yesterday, but today we're going to watch Paige Pierce, Christine Jennings, Jessica Weese, and Cynthia Ricciotti on the lead card.
As you can tell by those scores, this course is a beast. Even par's a great score. Paige Pierce and Christine managing to get under par at 2 down, which is just phenomenal. 15-ish mile per hour winds yesterday. Today more like 20, though weird pockets of calm we'll see. So let's see how these ladies battle Jones Supreme.
Hole 1 is kind of a birdie or bogey type hole. It's slightly downhill, just under 300 feet. There's this out of bounds creek in the middle and out of bounds all the way along the left-hand side. You can lay up short of the creek, or you can go for it and try to land on this island. That is the only place that is safe, and the basket is elevated. The drop zone is pretty forgiving, but it's an instant bogey. There's not a real way to save the par from there without being reckless.
This red rubber stuff can kind of bounce you out of bounds too, so.
Pensacola, Florida, sponsored by Discraft, Paige Pierce.
You really want to try to land soft on the rubber if you can. Paige, I think that's a buzz in her hand. Yesterday she laid up. Today she's going for it. Right distance, just a little right.
Yeah, the layup did not work out for her yesterday, and honestly, I think
Creek, Ohio, sponsored by Innova, Christine Jennings.
the layup's almost as sketchy as the drive.
Because if you miss, then you still have to go to the drop zone.
Yep.
Great to see Christine on the lead card here.
Heck
she
yeah.
is from Cincinnati area, I believe. When she's not playing disc golf, she works for the Pro Tour and sells houses and various real estates. So she just hustles, man.
Yeah, she is. I don't want to call her a weekend warrior because she's a touring mainstay, but she does work her butt off on the side, not just practicing every day.
Sponsored by Innova, Jessica Weese.
Christine threw that layup about as well as you could. I think that is a Toro in Jessica's hands. Also laying up. Needs to bite down. That's perfect too. It's weirdly hard to lay up going downhill. You can easily scoot out of bounds.
100%.
Great touch.
Missouri, sponsored by Discmania, Cynthia Ricciotti.
I believe Cynthia's fairly new to the Discmania family.
Yeah, this is her first year on Discmania.
She's been playing real solid for the last 2 years. Has really stepped her game up. Love seeing her on the lead card.
She's been playing really well and gaining momentum all year. She just throws a link off the tee. So 3 of our ladies laying up and having a sketchy little second shot. Definitely a nerve tester.
Because you want to get close to that basket so you don't have to putt because it's fairly elevated. Even without the lighthouse, you can't quite tell, but it's up there.
Beautiful shot from Cynthia. She'll take a par. Yeah, they all did so good on their layups that this isn't too bad. If you short your layup, it all of a sudden becomes pretty tough to get there.
Jessica relying on the overstability of the disc. Kind of ramps off that back rock, but she stays in.
Christine also throws it a little too firm, but catches the backboard. Paige from the drop zone, just looking to get it close and take a bogey. That's a little bit of a tester in the wind with the elevated pin, so that feels good for Jess to start with a par.
Even at 291 feet, only 15% of the field got a birdie today. That is 7 competitors out of the 48 in the field. Starting out with this kind of a weird head crosswind, it makes this hole real tough. And you get a lot of wind bounce activity when you go for it.
It was mostly left to right, but very strong wind. meaning that this is just a headwind largely. So hard to get there. Par 5, 888 feet. Out of bounds, pretty close on the left that you can find pretty easily. The right side is OB, pretty far on the right, and then wraps in closer. If you want to attack for the birdie, I think the only real way to do it is go across the water. A lot of ladies just trying to get all the way to the corner and then leave a tunnel shot up to the pin. It gets pretty narrow with the out of bounds towards the end, and requires some technical upshots. I don't know if anyone actually is going to birdie this. Like, it's so hard to get there with the headwind.
Yeah, I watched Kristen today throw her second shot of forehand well into the trees on the corner and then have a straight shot at the pin. But I feel like that is a rare ruby of a situation to find yourself in on this hole. Christine really flexing one out. She's going to be tucked on the right-hand side, checking up before the out of bounds. I mean, that's fine. As long as your second shot can get into that cluster of trees on the corner, you're doing good. This played as the second most difficult hole of the day. And I think it's largely attributable to that headwind.
Is attributable a word?
Don't question my vocabulary.
You're right.
I like to read. I can't do math, but I can read.
Oh my God.
It looks actually like it's calm.
So I was actually
bizarre.
I was gonna say that. So Cynthia throws this a little too far right, but the out of bounds is pretty far over there. Around 9, I don't know, 30 or maybe a little before, because I think they teed at 9. There was like a pocket where it wasn't windy, and then it will pick up later. That's a huge shot from Paige.
Yeah. For the rest of the field, this hole was just a crushing headwind. Like the flags were like.
Wow. Okay, I'm gonna get this clip and just save it forever. Thanks for that.
Christine trying to get that second shot into the corner. The out of bounds pinches in really close on the left-hand side. So you just want to make sure not to hyzer out.
Okay. Cynthia, we'll see how much she chooses to get close to the corner and maybe cut a little bit of the water, or if she gets left. Oh wow, this is challenging the water a little bit.
Yeah, I love that. She's trying to get up on top of the hill where she'll be able to see down towards the basket.
Yeah, and she's far enough too where she doesn't have to carry that much water.
Jess turns it over and throws it towards the ground. It won't get as much distance as she wants, but she can still save a par from there with a really miraculous third shot.
Do you know if Jessica's got a little bit of an injury? I see that tape on her shoulder.
And I think she dropped out of the Jonesboro last week, or...
Oh no.
Oh no. What an unfortunate kick after that beast of a drive.
Yeah, that kicked it really hard right out of bounds.
Yeah, I think she has been having some issues with her arm, but I thought it was actually with her back. I know she's been having some back trouble. One thing you should know about people on tour is everyone is injured at all times.
Just a little injured.
Just enough injured to be able to think about it.
That was a great shot. Lots of power on that forehand from Jess. I think this is a Tour Series sidewinder. I can talk from Christine. That was a good shot.
It was a great shot with her sign wider.
Yeah, thank you. It was so dark today. It felt like it was 5 p.m.
It was so cloudy all day. No. That's the only thing you don't want to happen.
And that dropped short. I don't know that crossed. Yeah, she's going to have to throw the same exact shot again. Very punishing.
I'm guessing she wants to cross over a little shorter, but instead she's feeling like she needs to push deep. And this is an aggressive play, and it pays off.
She's honestly a pretty aggressive player. I mean, what a recovery shot. That can quickly turn into a huge number.
Totally. Paige throwing 3 from here.
Yep.
Putting it high, hoping to crash in. Throwing 4.
Yeah, because the OB stroke. So she'll be, I think, just somewhere in circle 2. I bet that's chilly.
Just bogging. She got it back though. That must be an important one.
Yeah, she must need it.
Jess with a great looking approach. She's right outside the bullseye.
Very nice touch.
What a great recovery after that second shot.
Christine pitches up and leaves it at about 20-ish feet. Paige from a little over 40.
That's for par.
Yeah, that would have been a crazy save.
Thanks. Oh my gosh, so much action.
Yeah, I tried. Yeah, this hole played tough today.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the top of the baskets of these dynamic disc baskets are so slippery. I feel like they have grease on them. If you hit them, you go so far past.
They definitely don't, but it
This
looked
is
like
not
the,
speculation.
The wind lifted Paige's disc, and it did ramp, but she manages the comebacker, and we'll just have to get out of here with a double.
I love a basket with a flag on it to stop that.
Yeah, me too. Let's advocate for more flags on baskets.
More flags, less grease.
Oh my god. Christine with a really smooth par, and Jess as well. It's gonna be a good day.
There was one birdie on the day. Jennifer
Whoa.
Allen, big arm. Kristen had a putt, but
Man.
unfortunately missed it.
2 pars, 2 doubles. Ouch.
Yeah, hole 3, you can go over the water. It's there, but most people are going to go left, and they're going to take the gap that's actually out of the screen right now and try to pitch something over to the landing zone by the drop zone. Your second shot has to go over the water, and most people are going to throw a hyzer around this huge cedar tree crashing into the green. You can go to the left of it as well as if you want with a big turnover, but there's some low-hanging branches that definitely get in the way, and you have to keep it a little too low to get all the way to the green.
I think this played as one of the easier holes yesterday because it is reachable by everyone in the field.
So if you cross here and go out of bounds in the water, you go to the drop zone. However, if you go out of bounds on the left-hand side, there's that out of bounds line we saw where Christine's disc landed. You play it as normal out of bounds over there. Jess opting for the sidearm. She keeps it low, a little too low. Yeah, she's going to have a tester of a second shot.
Yeah, you kind of want to, I think, push that second gap if you're throwing backhand anyway. Let's see. So Cynthia, that's more like the first gap.
Yeah.
But she is pushing pretty far.
That's a great looking shot.
It's if you can be a little risky on your first shot and get closer to the edge of the water, it makes the second shot a lot easier. So you just need to pick where you're going to be.
And ideally, you want to
Dangerous.
throw more of a flex than you do a hyzer because
if you go through the first gap.
Yeah.
That's a super straight shot from Paige.
That'll be fine.
It is fine, but again, a little farther for the second shot.
Christine probably looking at about 300 feet.
Of water.
I mean,
carry.
350 feet to the pin.
Yeah, easily. Maybe even
Maybe
a little more.
375.
375.
Yep.
That's a destroyer in her hand, and the mistake tends to be to leave it a little short or in this cedar, and it can make the last shot a little tricky. If you can get around it, you'll have a circle 2 putt or closer.
Jess also having a really long shot.
It needs to get up.
Yeah. Up. Oh. She
Nice.
ramps over the hill, and she'll have a wide open approach. Paige probably closer to 300 feet to the pin.
Yep. She's throwing a raptor, swinging it nice and wide. Oh, beautiful.
Yep.
Just outside the bullseye.
That's how you want to do this.
Man, Cynthia got way up here. She's going on the left side. Ooh,
Oh.
that sucks. I've never seen someone so far
Me
that they're
neither.
not throwing a hyzer around that cedar tree.
Yeah, and I mean, this left side is there, but you just have to keep it so low to get under the branches.
Yeah, it's super tight,
Wow.
but she does it.
Yeah, that was a great shot.
The second time in a row where she like makes a mistake and then pures the next shot. Just throwing her Toro, and she's 14 feet away. Oh yeah, see, these cedars leave
Nothing.
so few options. That's a forehand cut roller from Christine, and does a good job to get circle's edge.
You're just like, half the time you're just hoping you get out.
Oh wow.
Great recovery.
Oh yeah, nice putt.
Wow, that was unbelievable.
Yeah, what a scramble.
Yeah, making that cedar look like no big deal. Cynthia, unfortunately, settling for the bogey, even with the CTP off the tee.
She's throwing well though. I think we'll see her clean it up.
And a single bogey out here is okay. You have to just make yourself okay with taking bogeys on this course. That's just how it be. Paige with the birdie look. Oh, yeah.
Super smooth birdie.
Again, only 15% of the field taking birdies there.
Again, it was windier for the earlier cards.
That's true.
Checking in with everybody else. Not very many people under par. Jennifer Allen and Rebecca Cox, one under, everyone else even or a couple over. It's playing a bit tougher today.
Yeah, Christine holding on to the lead right now by just playing smooth par golf. And that's really the story of Jones Supreme.
Yeah. Hole 4, par 4, 615 feet. Hole average 4.44. Left side is out of bounds the whole way. There is right side OB that's a little tougher to find than the left. First shot, you just want to get it as far as you can. Second shot is a little more technical with this big cedar on the right. You have to shape something into the green. There's an OB road behind it, but it doesn't super come into play. I believe on this hole, it was like a pretty pure left to right wind.
Yes, yeah. And it was gusty. It would randomly bluster up pretty heavily and then calm down a lot. So it was really tough to try to read before you threw your shot. You do want to keep your disc left on this fairway if at all possible, because the further right you go, the more difficult your second shot is. But it is hard to push because that OB is in just prime position to skip out.
This is a solid shot from Paige. It's really hard to get far enough off the tee to give yourself a really good look at birdieing this hole. Even though it's only 615, the uphill makes it play pretty tough. This is kind of a common mistake to go towards this tree, trying to stay away from the out of bounds left, but it works out okay. I think that's an Emperor. Jess is going flex line.
Ooh, that must be beefy.
Yeah, I like that. Never even thinks about the out of bounds.
Yeah, really committing to that turnover shot and relying on the overstability of the disc.
This is a DD3 from Cynthia. It's what she's thrown off most every tee out here. And that's a beautiful shot.
The ideal play here is a big sidearm. If you have a distant sidearm, that's exactly what you want to be able to birdie the hole. If you don't, you have a tendency, because of that left to right wind, to turn over like we see Paige doing and ending up in that cedar tree short of the green.
Yeah, a lot of times you end up with like a circle 2 look from, fading out right before the tree. It's so tough to get it actually inside the circle. Christine has the right line and width, but we see what I just said, it kind of fades out a little early. Tough to get it to turn all the way there.
It's hard to be aggressive here too, because if you do hyzer out or catch some of those tree branches, and you can easily kick out of bounds in the corner.
Cynthia with another DD3.
Doesn't quite hold over, same issue, just like Erika said. She'll be in circle 2.
Let's see that big distance sidearm.
Yeah, her flex shot got way down here.
Yeah, it really did. I like watching Jess play because she often takes a little bit different lines than most people. Like this.
Ooh, nice big skip, and she is at about 20 feet,
Such
25
good power. I hope she converts on that. It's a kind of one of those bonus birdies.
Christine just opting to pitch up here, not trying to do anything too crazy. Again, par is great out here.
Yeah, but we want excitement. We want drama. Throw it in, Paige. She doesn't have much here. Yeah, she can't even get out.
Ugh, and that next putt's not going to be any easier.
Yeah, that's just so thick in there. She didn't have like a...
she,
oh, good.
Okay. Yeah, she got out a little more than I... Oh, nope. That
wasn't her.
That wasn't her.
She was in the tree. I didn't even see her.
Yes.
Great birdie. Can't have been very many today.
Nope, there was only 2. And I think there was only 1 yesterday. So
yeah.
Congrats on being 1 of 3. Shining bright like a diamond.
Who are you today?
The other was by Ella Hansen. She also has a massive distance backhand and a great distance sidearm. Hole 5 is a downhill 385-foot par 3. It plays longer. It plays right at 385 because it does go back uphill at the end as well. And this low ceiling takes out the opportunity to throw an air shot to get there. You really have to throw a perfect angle, nose down, and really force it on a hyzer angle and rely on a big skip to get up to the green.
It was a pretty strong right to left wind, so it was tough because as soon as your disc started to hyzer out, it really got carried to the left.
Mm-hmm. It was like, yeah, it was kind of heady too.
A little bit.
Yeah, it would, if you showed the underside of your disc at all, you got raised straight into the trees.
Yeah, you really have to match your angle of the disc to the angle of the hill and throw kind of down. Like, that's really good.
That's great.
Just needs to start fading and
wow, that's
beautiful.
Perfect. Mm-hmm. Honestly, the best play here is to skip off the bridge.
Ride the rail. Yeah, it still doesn't look too windy for them.
Yeah. Because earlier in the day, that would have gotten just launched straight up into the branches. And
yeah.
That carried fine.
Christine does hit a tree, but it should be like a pretty routine distance upshot for a par save.
Cynthia,
great height and angle.
Yeah,
off the bridge.
Taking the tight line. It doesn't quite give her the distance that she needs to get there, but she'll be in circle 2 for a potential long birdie putt. Oops.
Yeah, grip lock. And hopefully she got out of that tree. Yep. Tough par save, though.
Looks like she's got a low speed disc in her hand.
If it's
That's a
like,
putter?
I think it could be a putter. Yeah, that looks like a fierce.
Yeah, it's definitely flippy. And it carries a good distance before settling down. It looks like right around the edge of circle 2.
Yeah.
Circle 1.
It turned just a little more maybe than she wanted, but she's got a chance here. I feel like this distance upshot is like what makes or breaks being like a professional, you know? You
100%.
need to have that shot.
Be
90% of the time.
Yep. Especially out here where, it's not windy right now, but man, on these greens, you want to be as close as possible so you don't have to putt.
Yeah. Paige a little farther than we thought, and we'll have to settle for the bogey.
Jess with the only birdie look on the card.
So obstructed, though. She has to go up and over that tree.
Yeah, it doesn't have even a clean look at it at all.
Yeah, kind of a bummer not to be rewarded with such a great tee shot. Christine for a par save. Nice. Yeah, her
Solid.
putt's looking really good.
Jess for her par.
Little hyzer around the tree.
Yeah, back-to-back obstructed putts.
No problem. So everyone just tapping in a par
And just to
Paige with a bogey.
Even with the slightly downhill nature of this hole at 385, you'd think, oh, a lot of people can reach it, but there was only 3 birdies. Maria Oliva, Ella Hansen, and Lauren Butler got it.
You just have to throw such a low penetrating shot. You can't really give it the height you want. Here is another island hole, water carry for 300 feet or so. There is kind of a hill in front of you as well that makes it pretty tough to control your nose angle. Pretty tight green here. There's a really punishing drop zone if you land in the water. A lot of women are going to be throwing out to the right and laying up and just trying to take a par.
This basket was elevated during the event up on the lighthouse just to make it extra cruel. The drop zone is tough, so going for it, it does feel kind of risky, but it is well within everyone's distance reach.
And with the wind down, with the wind down, you definitely feel like you want to attack this one. Christine lining up the layup play off to the right here. That's wide.
Gotta work.
Good tree.
You can hear her giggling like, oopsie.
It's not exactly an easy layup. You really want to be kind of more left than they are, closer to the water line to make it easier to get across.
Totally.
They're going to have to hit some gaps. Paige going across. We saw her do this yesterday, and it was perfect. Today, even more so.
Wow. Absolutely parked. Just from that drop zone, throwing back towards the peninsula. Not a lot of room for error here. And she puts it inside the circle right at about 18 feet.
Yeah, you really have to kind of keep it low and spin something. You don't want to give it too much height on this upshot.
Christine decides not to get aggressive, and she pitches out to the right, probably hoping for it to hyzer more than it did. Cynthia relying on her excellent sidearm approach skills, and she'll be just outside the bullseye for her par. Smart play from Christine here. That is a very scary putt. You can hear that wind starting to blow again.
Yep.
Yeah, these elevated baskets, man.
Well, and just where the drop zone is, it's pretty challenging to save a bogey. Cynthia with a nice smooth par.
This plate is the 3rd most difficult hole of the day. That does not surprise me. Maybe more people tried to go for it. There were still 5 birdies, though.
Paige probably with the easiest one.
100%.
Slam dunk.
Maria Oliva, Rebecca Cox, Natalie Ryan, and Kristen Tatar also. This played as the most difficult hole of the day, and it is largely in part with this tee shot. The out of bounds on the right-hand side is the fence, and the left-hand side just pinches in close, and then there's this out of bounds little puddly thing in the middle of the fairway / landing zone. It's really tough to decide whether you want to lay up or go for it. And going for it, there's a headwind that you have to deal with. Your second shot, you land in the middle. Third shot, you can either go sidearm or backhand around this big cedar tree. So much out of bounds. It's such a long, skinny hole, and the ripping headwind the entire length of the hole does not make controlling the angle of your disc any easier.
Yeah, it couldn't have been more of a pure headwind. And that puddle is right where a lot of the maybe typical FPO distance is going to land. Paige, not necessarily the typical FPO distance, but she hits that tree.
But I mean, even
and drops out of bounds.
Even with her distance, you still have to hit the line here, and it's a tight gap.
Yeah.
It's that tree on the right-hand side bends in perfectly to block the comfort of maybe just being able to throw a hyzer.
Cynthia's going CD2 here. I like the height and turn she's giving it. She sounded like she didn't like it. Oh, I wonder if she was laying up.
So close.
I think she made it.
Yep. She said no out of her hand. No. See those bushes moving. You can hear the wind blowing. Christine's still ripping on a driver here. And barely landing safe on the other side. And I think that's super common in the FPO field.
I just looked up what a CD2 was. And it's a 9-speed. So I think Cynthia was trying to lay up short.
Oh, really?
Of the puddle. That's my guess. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like she wouldn't ever lay up.
You're right.
I feel like that's not her style.
You're right.
Jess opting for the sidearm here, throwing something flippy. It catches some branches, and I think that potentially saved her.
Yeah, hard to say, but it's fine. Even if you get across the puddle, you're not going to really get a birdie look on this.
No.
We didn't see anyone get even close yesterday.
The camera angle doesn't really justify just how steep of a slope you're having to throw on. 90% of the time, you're having to throw a standstill on your second shot.
Well, we saw Haley King up on the left side of the hill yesterday. That was flatter, and she couldn't even really get there for a putt. Like, the reason this is playing as the hardest hole is because there's probably 0 birdies on the weekend.
It would be really, really challenging to get a birdie. You can see Cynthia running uphill, but still working the right-hand side of the fairway and getting way down there.
Uphill look from Christine as well.
It's scary, too, because it's blind. There's an out-of-bounds road on that left-hand side. You just have to know where it is mentally, because you definitely cannot see it.
Probably why we're seeing them throw right as well. Just not trying to mess with it at all.
Paige throwing 4 here. Pushing deeper than you want.
Just finding those big cedars today.
Oh, wait. Oh, sorry. Shallower.
Yeah.
I thought she was past.
Just with a huge hyzer spiking forehand. Wow.
That's a great shot. And the wind is the absolute worst it is on the hole right here at the green. Just unfiltered and raw.
Like our commentary. Cynthia with a really great upshot as well. That was her just a PD2. So. This is high.
Yeah.
And fine.
Works out great.
Paige with a little something.
Come on, girl. Ooh, gives it a good bid. She'll be inside the bullseye.
That'll be
Christine with
a double bogey for Paige.
Yeah, Christine with the tailwind comeback putt. No problem.
She's been making those big putts for par all day. Even on the round. No, wait, she's 1 over on the round, but still, under par for the tournament so far.
Go for it. And that's the bummer about this hole is even if you throw 3 really well executed, difficult shots and you just miss a 10-footer, it's like, or 15-footer.
Why'd I even work that hard?
Yeah. What was it all for?
Yeah, a lot of these holes take everything you have. Solid par from Cynthia.
Yeah, definitely.
She doesn't throw a ton of sidearms, but she has it. Hole 8's a par 4. It's 537 feet, so distance-wise, very gettable. A lot of people choosing to go in between these cedars on a flex shot and try to get way down there in between those other 2 trees we see up there. The rope line is OB on the left. The other play is just a huge hyzer, and then it sets up for largely a sidearm approach. You really have to shape something very specific to get a backhand there. It was a big right to left wind, so the center play was dangerous because, again, if you expose your disc at all to the wind, it's going to push it left out of bounds.
And that out of bounds does wrap in pretty close. It's interesting because from the tee pad, you can't see it, so it's a little bit blind over there. You just are looking at your little landing zone and hoping that your disc grabs. Cynthia turning it over more than you want, but she is flexing. Yeah.
She's fine.
Yeah,
It's
that's
great distance. Yeah, she pushed close to that
smushed.
tree, but like a really good angle to fight that wind.
That was absolutely smushed. I mean, that went every bit of 380.
Yeah, if you get to those trees, you can throw whatever shot you want. That's the advantage of taking the center line versus the big hyzer. And Christine trying to flip something up. This is headed towards out of bounds. Yeah.
It happened so quickly. Just a little bit of angle.
I like
means
this
all the difference.
from Jessica fighting against the out of bounds. Flex shot. I think that is a destroyer.
That thing looks beefy.
Oh, wait, maybe it's an emperor, sorry. Great shot. The hole calls for backhand, forehand, so Jess is probably going to go forehand, backhand. That looks like a passion.
Yeah, she went out of bounds left yesterday. It hyzered out a little too much today. Opposite problem, and it's going to be kind of tough from over there.
Yeah, I mean, she's way down there and only has probably 150 feet or something left, but obstructed.
I was kind of wondering if there was a shot going to the right side of those trees.
I don't know. I don't think so,
I
but
don't think so either.
Christine approaching, trying to save her par, puts it pretty close. Paige going
Eyes to the sky.
Yeah, some kind of big anhyzer with a crystal fierce. Oh wow.
All right, come on.
Work it.
Okay, circle two.
Yeah, good effort.
And I mean, it's a par four, so regardless of what happened here, nice save.
Jessica going forehand. I think that's a metal. Nope, I don't know what that is.
Really great shot is what it is.
Yeah, I don't know what disc it is.
It's in the bullseye.
Yeah.
Tap in birdie.
Really nice. Another forehand from Cynthia. She doesn't seem to like it, but it's fine.
Oh, she left it a little short.
It's a little short.
That low-hanging tree branch makes it hard to air it out. Paige from circle two for birdie.
Little too high, and she'll have a bit of a tester coming back. Christine for a long par save from 35. Also a little too high.
Yeah, both of those putts were a little hyzery at the end, and you can see him just stay in the air with that right to left wind. Cynthia for her birdie from just outside.
More of a straight headwind. Oh,
Yeah.
High left side and in. Great birdie putt.
Paige coming back at it for par. And I feel like the three putt can happen so quickly on any green out here.
Man, Christine too.
That low, dull roar of the wind.
Yeah.
And the mics.
Really good birdie from Jessica there.
25% of the field getting a birdie on this hole.
Yeah, our lead card lady's finding some trouble, just showing that you can find it on any hole, but this plays as a pretty decent scoring hole for a lot of the field.
Scoring separation is big on every hole, though. That's what's crazy. Makes you feel crazy. This 371-foot par 3 stretches out a little bit further. I feel like it's flat, very park-style golf. There is an out-of-bounds line on the left side that pinches in as you go, and it definitely comes into play if you hyzer out with some speed when you're coming towards the basket. We had a tailwind, so it does give you kind of the go-ahead to attack here, but you do want to manage how your disc angle lands on the green.
Yeah, it's so hard not to hyzer out too early, I think, on this one. With those trees on the right side, I don't know. It's hard to throw the right angle.
Yeah,
like, this is typical what Cynthia's doing.
Yep. It sets up more for a flex line or almost a turnover than it does for the hyzer, but the tailwind begs to differ.
Yeah, it's just hard to get your disc turned over in this wind. It just immediately stables it out.
Okay, Jess.
I like it.
Me too.
Destroyer. Probably a big flex, fighting the wind the whole time.
And she would throw a destroyer on Anheuser 360 feet on a
Welcome
sidearm.
to Jessica Weese golf.
Ugh, so good.
Very fun to watch.
So fun to watch.
Paige kind of letting out some frustration here.
Yeah, she was kind of working for that hyzer flip to maybe flexing line. Unfortunately, grip blocks just a wee bit.
Yeah, she's having a little more trouble off the tee than we often see from her, and just like fighting really hard to recover the rest of the hole, which gets very mentally draining and frustrating.
Especially on this type of course where a lot of the holes are, you have to throw a perfect shot or 2 or 3 perfect shots to get your birdie.
Christine with a similar play as Cynthia, just kind of hyzering out into somewhere near circle 2. Paige with a fierce upshot to circle's edge. Cynthia leaving her jump putt 20 feet short. Christine lays up in the bullseye for her par.
Her approaches and layups are just looking like no nonsense. Like she's feeling comfy out there.
Yeah, it doesn't look stressful at all. Ooh, huge Anheuser bid from Jessica.
Something you won't see anywhere else.
No, and she keeps it close too.
There we go.
Yeah, good par save. Yeah, Paige, what is she, 6 up on the round through 9? Happens way too easily out here.
Honestly, it could happen on one hole.
Yeah,
Nice par from Cynthia.
but all these ladies over par on the front. And the back does tend to play a little bit tougher.
Did yesterday. The holes do stretch out a little bit more, and there's a lot more technicality. But there is a nice little birdie stretch there in the middle.
That's true. A little breath of fresh air.
Let's take a recap of what our lead card is shooting today, and it's a lot of colors.
A lot of colors you don't like as much. Not as much green as you want.
We did see much more green yesterday on our feature card. It was playing tough out there, and this place is a real mental battle. Maybe we'll see if the rest of the fields, how they're doing.
Yeah, let's check in.
Oh,
Ooh,
Kristen Tatar
4 down. Wow.
shredding.
Yeah. Wow, 4 through 16. That's amazing. Jennifer Allen and Kat Murch 2 down through 15. Also really good.
Everyone else over par on the day and on the total.
Yeah, Paige dropping to 10th. We'll see if she and everybody else can kind of clean it up on the back. We gotta give a big thanks to our VIP members. A lot of you have joined just since the last tournament. $10 a month at gkprodisc.com supports FPO coverage, supports us and GK Pro. So thank you so much.
Yeah, we really do appreciate you. I don't know how to say it enough. Thank you.
I don't know how to say it differently and
Yes.
with more interesting things.
But hey, look at your name on here.
Yeah, Trevor Laws, Miranda.
We still have 9 holes left to watch. It's very exciting out here. It's still very windy. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb, and we're your 2 hot geese. Honk.